Ata Māori e whanau, mōrena koutou, Arohamai. We are just learning how to use YouTube and going live, so I'm here. I finally managed it. 4 minutes late, Arohamai. So just as we get started with these brief live sessions that I will be doing daily from 7 a.m, just brief kōrero on around the pātai that I receive about Rongoā, and just to endeavour to answer those, and also anything else that might come up during the kōrero as well. So I'm Joanne Hakaraia Olsen, and we are Te Wakarako. So we are all about Rongoā Māori, so our foundations are rooted in Rongoā Māori. Everything that we do with Te Wakarako is to be able to share and preserve the mātauranga, the knowledge of Rongoā Māori in a safe and sacred way. So today is our first day where we're having this live kōrero on YouTube. And the reason why we're doing it on YouTube is because I really love this platform. We were going to do it on another platform, but it just didn't feel right at the time. At the last minute, it was all scheduled to go, and I cancelled it, changing everything over to this platform. So it might take a while for viewers to know that we're here, but I'm sure over time they will, and we're just going to keep rolling with the kōrero anyway. Okay, so let's see. So one of the kōrero that I get asked a lot, and one of the pātai that I get asked a lot, and it's a general pātai, is that people ask if they've got a condition or an ailment, they'll ask if I have any rongoā for that. Do I have any rongoā for this? For any particular ailment, they might point at it, or they might say, do you have any rongoā for lungs or something like that? So, you know, that's you know, when you're in Te Ao Māori, in the world of rongoā, it's a really broad question, because with rongoā, we always, it's all about going to the source, or going to the origin, and going right to the source to be able to treat that. And sometimes people don't know what the source is, and so what usually happens in the physical world is that it tends to manifest on the body well after it had already taken place in the wairua, in the spiritual form. So when someone asks, have we got a rongoā for this? The first thing that's going through my mind is I'm thinking about the symbolism of what that is, the tohu of what the ailment could represent. And usually that requires a lot of pātai from me and a deeper kōrero. Now, how do you do that when you've just met somebody and you want to go deep into the source of the issue, and you've only got a few minutes to spare? Usually, it's good to have a kōrero with somebody building Whanaungatanga to really allow the person to trust you to be able to share what may have gone on in the past. And there's a number of ways to get to that source of that kōrero. But because we're keeping it brief, we're just going to keep on to the surface. Basically, when you ask that question, I'm looking at the tohu of what that ailment is representing for you. So I might ask if there's anything else going on, or I might just not say anything and be a space for you to be able to kōrero, because in that kōrero, there's lots of information for me to be able to work with. So basically that is generally, if someone asks me, have you got a rongoā for this? We want to go right to the source, and we'll do that as sacredly and as safely as possible. And generally that requires the trust from you and the creating the safe space from me to be able to provide that kōrero. So there's so much more involved with rongoā. But basically, when you're talking to a rongoā practitioner, we're wanting to go to the source rather than give you something for the surface ailment. So basically that hopefully will answer that question. So there is more involved. And when you're coming to work with rongoā, when you're wanting that as a treatment plan, then you have made a commitment. Yeah, you've made a commitment. You've come in, you've made a commitment to yourself. You've made a commitment to your whakapapa, to your tupuna, that this is what you're going to do, and you're looking into it. So that's what it's all about. That hopefully will answer that pātai. That's a general brief kōrero introduction on that. So and we can go more into that if anybody is interested in that kōrero, because it comes up a lot. There's a few other pātai that I could answer today, but I think I'm going to leave them for other days. And because we're just going to leave them for other days. We're just going to keep to a theme here, since we're going into the surface of what our rongoā is. We're moving into the period of matariki. So we're moving into the cooler months, which means that you might be feeling like you're going deeper into your space, into your wānanga, into your learning. And this is what the cooler months provide for us. They give us the opportunity to go within, to be still, to be dormant in a way that you're still moving. So you're dormant physically, but inside there's vibration and movement and energy. It's a different type of energy. It's a wānanga space. So coming into the period of matariki, which is June, July, and basically all the whānau marama rise up. They herald in the new year, the ending of the year, and it's a huge vibration. So basically what you're feeling right now is the lead up to that, the lead up to prepare our tinana, our whare, to be able to be in that space. So now is a good time to set your intentions about what it is that you're working towards. Set your intentions about who you are, who is your highest potential. So thinking about your highest potential, if you had no filters, if you had no beliefs, if you had no ego, who would you be? Who would you be? So your highest potential is there. You're imbuing it every day. Your highest potential is there. What keeps us from being our highest potential is ego. Is our personality, is our being in our body, being in our ego. And our ego stems from our beliefs as a child, being raised with certain beliefs, filtering messages, trauma, events, everything in the past. They can accumulate to become our filters of the lens of the outside world. But basically what you are now is you are your highest potential right now. And when you get rid of the ego, and we can go over that more later, when you move the ego to the side and know that there is a bigger picture, a higher vision, a higher source than what we ever could imagine, then we are being in our high. You'll be able to see your highest potential, and we are being in our highest potential. So try and work out what your highest potential is. If you had no beliefs, no filters, no ego, where would you be going? So if you look at the pathway that you've come on and what you've been learning in your your world lessons, your physical lessons, where is that pathway leading you to? Because all of those lessons are there for you to gain strength from, to experience, to be able to pass on, to experience and unravel and learn from, to be able to share that kōrero with others, because it's healing for others, isn't it? It's sharing your kōrero, your story. So move into your highest potential. What I would encourage you to do this week is to think about who you really are at the core. Try not to come from ego. Just think of coming from a higher source. So coming from a higher source and being your highest potential. Think about what that is and write it down. And then you're going to write steps about what you need to do to get there. So for me, for instance, my highest potential, I know that I should be presenting more. I feel like, and I can feel it in my bones, to present more. And I know this. And so some of the things that, some of the steps that I'm doing to get to that place is to be able to provide this platform, because I know that the more that I kōrero, the more that I share, the more growth that I will develop, the more growth. So that's what I'm looking at, is growth. And that's what we all should be looking at, is growth, because everything grows, everything evolves. So that's my kōrero today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you come back tomorrow at 7 a.m. We'll do this again, and we'll see what else comes up for what theme comes up for tomorrow. So ngā mihi nui ki a koutou katoa. Wherever you are joining and listening to me, I thank you very much for your support. Don't forget to put a like and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this. And we'll see you soon. Ka kite anō.